Okay, hello, Karen and Mike and Austin and everybody else that told me to make this video, but it took me forever to make. Here is the full low back, hip, full lumbar complex situation that I do every day, and there's more. I'm just showing you the bulk of it, the really important ones. Starting off, you're just gonna want to loosen up the spine. You're gonna get in these kind of cat-cow positions. These are like yoga positions, but we're not gonna be holding these positions. None of these are static. These are ballistic stretches. And you're basically, you're gonna round the back as high as you can, trying to bring the middle of your back to the ceiling, and then arching the back, really poking out the butt, trying to get the butt up and get your head up, look up to the sky, arch your lower back and arch your neck without moving your shoulders, without moving your arms or your legs, keeping your knees on the ground. This one is really simple. You're just trying to think about bringing your ear to your hip. That's really all you need to do. Bring your ear to your hip, your left ear to your left hip, your right ear to your right hip. Trying to keep the back as flat as possible. See how flat my back is? I'm not rounding it and I'm not arching it. I'm keeping it flat and just using my obliques to kind of pull in the hip to the ear and pull in the hip to the ear without moving my shoulders, without moving my leg placement, my arm placement, keeping everything stationary besides the spine. These are a little more advanced, but the more you practice, the more you'll get used to them. It's a full swivel motion, so we're bringing both of those movements together now, and we're going into a full rounding of the back, and then swiveling it down, arching the back, swiveling it up and rounding the back, and getting into a full spinal movement. Notice how I don't move my arms, I don't move my legs, it's only the spine. I let my scapula, my shoulder blades, kind of move when I get into the rounded positions, but other than that, everything else is just flowing and moving, keeping everything really fluid. And then I just do a little toe touch here to move on to the next thing. So now we're gonna go into Supermans. This is if you don't have a back extension, and we'll get into the back extension in a minute. But Supermans are great for building actual muscle in the low back area. You're just gonna get flat on the ground, chest on the ground, everything is on the ground, and you're going to lift up your arms and lift up your legs. I know I'm not really showing that here, but you're gonna lift up both of your sets of limbs. You're gonna lift them both up and look up to arch that neck as you arch that lower back. Look up to the sky, keep your thumbs up. You can't really see it in the video, but my thumbs are up. Not my palms or not the backs of my hands, but my thumbs. And then take your little breaks here too. Don't go too crazy, but you definitely wanna go until you feel an actual burn. And when you feel that burn, try to feel that burn 3 more times. So take your break, take your deep breaths, and then do it. It's also probably best to take a deep breath in when you lift your arms and legs up, and then a deep breath out when you go back down. These are called bird dogs. Bird dogs are great exercises for the lower back. It allows you to work I think it's called a multifidus or multifidus, I forget what it's called, but it's basically what prevents your spine from rotating in a way that's not healthy, in a way that's damaging to the spine. So in this position, you're separating opposite limbs. So it's making your spine want to rotate, want to make that twisting motion, which could lead to a herniated disc. What you're doing though is you're practicing not rotating the spine. You're allowing the spine to stay in that neutral position, that clothesline position. See how straight my back is right here? But letting everything else move. So letting the limbs move, but not letting the spine twist or rotate. So we're protecting our discs right now. We're learning how to use that multifidus, which is those little individual vertebrae muscles. They're very small and that we hardly ever think about. But those things can be worked, and when you work them, it'll prevent herniated discs. All right, next, it's very important that you do any sort of gluteal exercise. Working your butt is like so crucial for lower back protection because the butt's right there. I mean, like our glute muscles are literally connected to the lumbar spine. So doing squats is crucial. Squats are a huge low back pain prevention exercise. Keeping the back pretty stationary and straight, keeping a neutral spine, but really, really think about the butt muscles. Don't even worry about your quads. Don't worry about your knee. Don't worry about anything. Just think about your butt muscles and tighten your butt when you go down and tighten your butt when you come up. Use those specific muscles to bring you up and down. That's the goal here. Try not to get on your tippy toes. Try not to lift your toes, even though that'd be really hard. Keep your feet pretty flat on the ground. And yeah, you don't need to be arching your back or rounding your back. All right, here's your back extension. These things are crucial. This is what saved my back. This is the game changer machine right here. They're probably around $100. You can find them online for $100. I found mine on Walmart, like Marketplace or some shit, and picked it up in the parking lot. From some guy, but this is like the perfect beginner exercise for the low back. See, I'm just keeping a really, really arched back, and I'm not moving at all. What I'm doing is I'm just tightening and activating those low back muscles. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm turning my muscles on. So when we start to work them, they're already ready, and I won't be shocking my low back muscles when I actually start doing reps, which you'll see soon. So we're just keeping a really, really straight, calm, straight position, arching the lower back. And yeah, you can even put your hands back there and feel it. And yeah, make sure your chest is up too. And you can put your hands virtually wherever you want them. You can even put them where they are right now. See right where they are right now to support yourself if you feel like this is too much. Walk it off, shake it off after you do, I don't know, maybe about 20 deep breaths. And then we can start getting into repetitions. So you can see I'm going full range of motion. A lot of people do these like half reps, which are fine, but the goal is full range of motion because we are full range of motion beings and we need to be able to move in full range of motion. So get your arms as all the way, see how they like dangle almost past my face? Let your whole, feel the whole stretch in your hamstrings as you go down. Your butt should feel completely stretched as you go down. This is the assisted version. So when you feel like, this is too much, you can always just grab on the little handles there. Every single back extension or Roman chair has those handles where you can kind of hold on and take care of that low back. These are half reps. Again, still getting that burn in that lower back area, but it's not as extreme as the full range of motion. A little less scary. But you see how my back is very neutral and straight right here? This is what you want to do. As you get more comfortable, you can start to bend the spine more. But for now, just keep it nice and straight and try to focus on those lower back muscles. And see how I'm really arching my lower back as I come up on the back extension? Crucial, fucking crucial shit right there. This is a little harder. So when you feel like the full range of motion stuff is getting too easy, you can put your hands behind your head, adds a little bit more weight into the top, the higher part of your body. So when you go down for that rep, you really, really feel the tension in your lower back. Again, go to your own level. This is the fullest, this is the full range of motion. This is the last step, really, when you feel like you have really succeeded the back extension stuff. So get a weight. This is 17.5 pound kettlebell. And again, just letting the back be pretty straight and clothesline, but really arching the back as you come up. It's the same range of motion, but with the weight. All right, now we're getting into QL extensions. This is a little more extreme. This is when you know your low back is strong enough to handle this, when back extensions start to become easy. What you're going to do is you're going to bend your spine in a lateral direction, following the leg that is pointed in front of you. One leg will be in front, one leg will be behind. But you see how my weight is rubbing up against the leg that's in front of me? That's the position you want to be in. The other arm behind your head, elbow pointed towards the sky. The goal is to point that elbow to the sky. Point it, try to get it to touch the ceiling, right? Letting the weight do the work. And just be careful. Take your deep breaths as you go down. Exhale as you go down. Inhale as you come up. Now this is extreme. This is like when back extensions and QL extensions can now reach the Roman chair. This is very extreme. This is if you really, really trust your lower back and you feel like you've made a lot of progress. It took me about almost 2 years to be able to just get here. So be very careful when you do these. But you see where my leg placement is. My left leg is in the back side. My right leg is in the front side. And again, I'm following. It's the same as the QL extensions that we were looking at with the weight when I was standing. Is I'm following that front leading leg, right? I'm letting my arm go down that front leading leg and letting the elbow point to the ceiling that is lined up with the back facing leg. So get in that kind of staggered position, let the weight of your body do the work. And again, you can do half reps here before you get into it. You don't do the full range of motion reps like I was doing. These are your Jefferson curls. You're gonna get on an elevated surface. I'm a fucking hillbilly, so I got a plank of wood on top of 2 20-pound weights. But you're gonna just let every single vertebrae curl all the way down until you touch your toes. And then, since you're at an elevated surface, you can go past your toes. I have a slight bend in my knee. See that slight bend in my knee? That's fucking crucial. Don't do a straight knee for this exercise. Just don't. It's not worth it. A slight bend in your knee, you're still gonna get that hamstring stretch. You're still gonna get the lower back stretch. You're still gonna get that full range of motion. Don't worry about just keeping your knees straight. Everyone's like, oh, keep your fucking knees straight. Don't do it. Now this is taking it a step further. So you do your toe touch, right? Do your Jefferson curl, and then you let your butt sink down and you go to a full squat, right? You go to a full, like a sitting position. This is now stretching that hip complex, and it's getting a deeper stretch into your lumbar spine. Very, very crucial. A really great next step with the Jefferson curl. These are not extreme. I recommend doing Jefferson curls with your back extensions or with your lower back drills. They really aren't that intense, and it's really good for range of motion. And remember to bend every single vertebrae. Here we go. We're getting into the hip stuff. All right, so we're doing the outer hip complex right now. The position that I'm in is it's kind of like if you were gonna do a lunge, but you're sitting down, right? So my left leg is out in front of me, but it's bent. My right leg is behind me, and it's also bent. And I'm trying to get my right heel to the sky. That's all I'm doing right now. I am not lifting my knee off the ground. I'm just trying to get my heel to the sky. I'm also trying to turn the bottom of my foot a little bit up, kind of getting that big toe to turn up into the ceiling. Here I'm doing a static hold after I did about 10 reps. Highly recommend doing this. Take about 10 deep breaths with your static hold. And again, trying to get that heel to the ceiling without lifting anything else. Everything else stays on the ground. And you can see my arms are kind of positioned to the left side of my body. I'm sort of leaning into that leg on the ground, but not too much. And I'm putting a lot of weight on my back arm, the arm that's on the back of my body. My front arm, as you can tell, is barely touching the ground, just for balance. So now we have the second step. We're going to, or progression. We're lifting now the knee and the heel. And the goal is to keep that leg like a platform. Try to think like you're trying to keep a ball on that flat part of your leg right there. And you're going to imagine the ball you don't want the ball to roll off your leg. So keeping that knee, see how straight that is? Look at that. It's like a straight line. It's like cutting off the bottom of the video. Keeping that heel and that knee parallel, right? Trying to keep them in line with each other. And yeah, again, just we're working that outer hip complex. And when you do your reps, this is the static position, but when you do your reps, try not to let your knee even touch the ground. Just barely kiss the floor or don't touch it at all. And really, really focusing on keeping that muscle tight. And then, yeah, just breathe it out. Do your 10 reps, 20 reps, and then breathe it out with about 10 deep breaths in your static position. This is the next progression. An apology for the crotch shot. You're going to lay down. You're keeping that other leg that's on the left side of my body right now. You're keeping that thing exactly where it was. It hasn't changed. The other part of your body is now a straight leg, so it's not bent anymore. And you're going to point your toe, and you're going to focus only on keeping that leg as perfectly straight while trying to get your toes to the ceiling with every rep. Every rep, toes to the ceiling. Oh, and you also really, really want to focus on making sure the heel, you kind of can't really tell in this video, but the heel should be perfectly lined up with the spine. Your spine, your heel should almost be one unit, like an extension of itself. So try to keep everything really in line. Try not to let the toes go out to the left side of your body, and try not to let the heel go out to the right side of your body. Keep the leg in line with the spine. It will help that burn. And again, this is the static position. I showed you the reps. Do about 10 to 20, and then in the static position, take 10 deep breaths, and just really, really hold this position, keeping that muscle nice and tight. Anyway, I made like a lot of videos on doing the other side of the body, but it doesn't really matter. So you know what to do. Do the other side, make sure they're even. And now let's get into the inner hip complex. So I have a yoga block here, very crucial. You can get a big book or anything that's just like a couple inches off the ground, maybe 1 or 2 inches off the ground, just so you can get that knee elevated, so you can get that foot to really, really leave the ground in this first progression. Try to get that the left side of your heel to the ceiling, and try to also turn your foot up like you're trying to get the bottom of your foot to the ceiling as well, leading with that big toe. You could point your toe too. This is the static position. In the reps, try to do about 10, 15, 20 repetitions, and then when you get to the static position, just take those deep breaths, just breathe it out. 10 deep breaths is more than enough. You could do more, but you'll be fine with 10. You'll feel the burn, trust me. And just really, really try to focus on that inner hip burn. You're gonna feel the burn. It's gonna be really, really crampy, but you know what? It's fucking worth it, man. And again, it's the same leg position. We're doing the exact same leg position, but instead of that back leg, that back bent leg doing all the work, it's now that front bent leg doing all the work. And notice where my hands are as well. They're completely behind me. They're not in between the legs like they were in the previous workout, the outer hip complex workout. So now we're doing the second progression. And I recommend doing all these in linear. Try to do them, one after another. Now we're lifting the whole damn leg off the ground, and notice again, I'm keeping that leg nice and straight. The bottom part of my leg nice and straight, below my knee. The knee is lined up with the ankle, right? They're lined up. Trying not to make the heel any higher than the knee, and definitely not the knee any higher than the heel. Want to keep them in line. So now we're doing the static position, the reps, again, the same amount of repetitions, and then the static position. Take your deep breaths. Try not to move any other part of your body. It's only about the hips right now. Focus like an insane amount of focus on that hip. You could also, when doing the reps, try to think about getting your knee, so in this case, my left knee to my right shoulder, and vice versa when you do the other side. It'll help you get that full range of motion. Now we're laying down, we're doing our kicks, straight leg. Notice how I don't have my back leg bent behind me anymore. It's now wrapped above the knee, wrapped above the leg that's working, right? This is important because you're going to be now focusing even more so on that kind of crunch in the hip area and those inner hip muscles. So just pointing the toe to the ceiling, trying to get the bottom of that foot. You can see how I'm turning my foot, trying to get the bottom of my foot to touch the ceiling. Thinking about those things. This is the static position, so we're not moving, but we're holding our position and taking our deep breaths. My hands are in a very calm position. My hands aren't doing any work. You can keep them on the sides of you. I like to turn them in for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it helps me get my hips more on the side of my hips. And again, keep that heel and that whole leg in line with the spine. This is an extension of your spine. Don't let the heel go behind you, and don't let the toes go in front of you. Now we're gonna stretch it out with some ballistic stretching by just getting the knees to touch the ground. Notice how my butt is off the ground. I have a space between. I'm using my arms to lift my butt off the ground. It helps get a deeper range of motion. And notice how my feet are constantly moving with my legs. They don't stay stationary. This is a deeper stretch. Now one leg isn't moving at all, trying to keep it as still as possible. It's really hard. You can tell I'm even struggling with it. But the other leg is doing all of the movement. I am bringing the knee as far down to my other heel or my ankle as possible and letting the knee fall all the way back to the back of my hands, right? Really, really stretching that area. You're gonna feel that stretch in this position. This is just a deeper version of what we just saw. It's just more focused on the individual muscles of the body. Now we're getting back into some static stretching. And now what we're doing is we worked our hips, now we're stretching them out. Now we've turned on the muscles are full of blood and they're full of energy and they're nice and tight. So now we're gonna stretch them out. This is when the stretch is actually gonna work. We're not just yanking on the fascia, we're not just yanking on the muscle that needs the help. We turned it on, we warmed it up, and now we're stretching it out. It's like we got a rubber band, and now the rubber band's bigger. We've elongated and made it a thick and nice and strong rubber band, right? And now we're gonna stretch the shit out of it. And we have more to stretch because it's a bigger rubber band. So these are our pigeon holds. This is an extended version of the pigeon hold right here where I'm lifting up the back of my leg and staying on my toes. But overall with the pigeon stretch, you just wanna get that knee to your chest. That's the goal. Get the knee to the chest and really, really sit down on that single gluteal muscle, since we're only stretching one of those muscles at a time. Now we're getting into a deep runner stretch. It's also called lizard. Trying to get our hands parallel with our foot here. See how my hands and my elbows are parallel with that foot, and that back leg is straight and behind me and up on the toes. And you're just gonna sink down as far as you can. If you need to keep those arms straight, like what you just saw before I sunk down, that's fine. You're still, if you feel the stretch, you feel the stretch. It doesn't matter how deep you go. The deeper you go just shows how much progress you're making in that stretch. But we're just trying to get that knee in line with the ankle of our foot, and with that foot in line with the elbows of our arms if we're deep. If we're not deep and our hands are up, then or if our arms are straight, then we're keeping our hands in line with those ankles. So now we're doing the other side, stretching the other side of doing the pigeon stretch. And try to think about when you're doing the pigeon stretch of getting that butt muscle, that left butt muscle right there that I'm working, trying to get that to the ground. It's not possible. You have to be very flexible in order to do that. But thinking about pressing it down, like that idea of it sinking down like it's heavy, is gonna help you stretch it even more. So again, this is the extended version of the pigeon stretch, getting that back leg straight, getting the toes are on the ground, right? Arms are straight. I'm looking up even. I'm getting a little bit of an arch in my back and a stretch in my spine. In this extended version, you're just allowing the body to have more weight to push on that gluteal muscle and get a deeper stretch there. Now we're gonna get back into that runner's position. Slowly bring that leg back because that leg was just stretched and worked, so it might be a little tight. So bring it back slowly. Swing it up slowly too. You can even use your arm to pull it up if you have to. And where my arms were just straight right there, that could be it. That could be the full range of motion for you. That's fine. But if you get deeper, see how my elbows are in line with my ankle? That's what you want. You also want that knee in line with that heel. You don't want your toes super far out in front of you. You don't want your heel super far behind that knee. You want everything to be pretty straight. And I bring my head down, and I let my back kind of arch too. Over time, that the arch in the back will go, or sorry, not the arch, but the rounding of the back. The rounding of the back will go away, and you'll be able to flatten your back into that position, the lizard position. So slowly bring your leg back, be careful with that, and get into a child's pose. Just simple old child's pose. There's nothing really crazy about it. Just try to get your arms really far out in front of you, letting your full back, all of your back muscles just stretch in this position. Again, we're stretching our lower back in a really, really comfortable and low pressure way. There's no pressure here, and then getting a little stretch in our hips. Now we're gonna get into a deep stretch in the entire hip complex. This is the money right here. This is the stretch of all stretches. This is a frog position, getting the knees wider than the shoulder width. and sitting down in that position, letting your butt sink down, you're gonna feel your limit. You're gonna feel the stretch immediately, and you're gonna stop when you feel that stretch. Use your arms to stop you. Use your arms to protect you from going too far down. And then use your arms to pull you forward, letting your hips come up, letting your butt come up, and then you can get out of that position safely. Now we're gonna get into a deep squat. This is the last stretch and the last thing we're gonna do. It's a little static stretch, and we're gonna do a little spine twisting thing here. I'm not a huge fan of spine twisting. I know it's super important, but I have a little bit of kinesiophobia in stretching the multifidus area of my spine. I'm afraid of hurting it. But anyway, we're just gonna get our opposite hand to fling up in the air and just get a quick stretch and then come back down. It's all we're gonna do, trying not to twist the low back as much as possible.